Okay, good. Good morning to all of you. Thank and hearty welcome to NMIMS. What I will talk about is how your life is going to change as you enter into this phase. Then we'll talk about what we will do to make sure that you can keep pace with that change and what we expect from you that time and what we'll expect from parents and what we'll commit to you today. Okay? So, welcome to the new world. You have studied in the schools for last 12 years and now you're going to enter into completely new world. So how this changes? What are the changes that you would see in this? Okay. So in the school, people teach you, teachers teach you. You look at the textbooks and your focus is on academics. That you focus mainly on getting good marks. Some of you might be singing well, playing well, but then that's a very smaller number. Most of you focus only on getting marks in the examination. Little less marks means, yeah, you could be missing in PAT, you could be missing admission in NMIMS, and so on and so forth. So focus is mainly on these three things. As you enter to college from school, now focus will have to change a little bit. Teaching is there. It's not that we will not teach you. Obviously, we'll teach you. But you also have to do some self-learning. And as you go further forward from first year, there will be more and more self-learning that will be expected from you. Why? Because as your parents can tell you that when you start working, there is no teacher. All you have is your boss who is telling you that this is a particular problem and you have to solve it. The boss is not going to teach you that time. So as you transition from this school to the job, these 4 years we have to make that thing happen. That how can you learn things on your own and how can you solve the problems which are being faced by your boss, your company, your employer. Okay? Textbooks, that's what we look at in the schools. Do we have textbooks here in the college? We do have. However, that's only part of the story. Beside that thing, we'll have to look at many other books. Okay? You have to go to internet, you have to study things from there. And that thing is going to again put sufficient, it can give freedom to you to study what you want, how you want. But at the same time, there's also responsibility to study more and wider. Okay? In the school academics, that's again required. You have to get good marks, you have to get good CGPA, but you also have to develop yourself in all the dimensions. Now this development is not limited to only few talented people. We believe that every student, every boy, every girl has some inherent talent in him or her. And we would like to unravel, open that, make it blossom. Okay? So focus will be, besides academics, also on total development. What does that mean? Let's look at that. So it is expected that when you graduate, you need to have these attributes. You need to do all these things, should be able to do all these things. That is expected now as good as by law. All engineering colleges are being, you can say, inspected, are being checked whether their students are able to display, show these attributes. Some are pretty obvious, the ones which are underlined are somewhat difficult. How do we make sure that you understand what is ethical and how do we make sure that when you take decisions in your engineering career, you take ethical decisions? Tough job, but that's what we have to do. How do you communicate well? Not only with your peers, not only with your parents, not only with the teachers, but anybody. Could be a person who is giving money to you, the financer. Could be a person who is going to use what you design, could be a villager. So how do you communicate with everybody? How do you work individually? How do you work in the team? In the teams, maybe in the schools, there's hardly any team that is involved. If at all, it's only for some practicals, 2 people or so. But here your team could be big enough, 10 people, 20 people. And you don't have choice to choose your team members. Your team members is something that you would just get it. When you start working, again, your parents would be able to tell you that you can choose your team members. They're given to you. and you have to work despite them. Okay, and again, that's what we'll have to do as you transition from, as I said, 12th to job. And the last thing which I mentioned again, lifelong learning. So here you are going to learn something, but be aware that what we are teaching you is going to be stale, if not in maybe 2 years, maybe in 5 years, certainly in 10 years. We do not know what job you'll be doing after 10 years. No, we don't know. All we can do is that help you learn the learning skills, how you can learn something, because that's what is going to help you in your career. All you have to do is that lifelong learning. This college, this university will only introduce you different topics and subjects. You have to stand on that knowledge and then look beyond. Okay? Now, how we can make it happen? Again, standard thing is that we normally give lectures. There was some study which was saying that what is the retention that students have depending on the method of teaching. Okay? If you just attend lecture, for example, I'm giving a lecture, unfortunately, there's no option. But if I give lecture, at the end of it, if you figure out how much you have gotten from that thing, that would be 5%, unfortunately. Okay? If you read something, a book also, 10%. If you look at audio visual, that's what I'm doing, so that will go up a little bit, 20%. A demo, 30%. Discussion group amongst all of you, 50%. And if you do something, you practice by doing 75%. And if you use what you have learned, and if you teach others, it goes 90%. So when we teach you, we would try to use as much as possible the bottom portion of the pyramid, and as little as possible the top portion of the pyramid. So what do we do exactly? So now when you join starting from tomorrow, very quickly we'll conduct a foundation test to understand what is your current knowledge base. We'll understand how do you learn, because there are different learning styles of each individuals. Based on these things, we will form teams of 3 to 4 students. And we will give assignments every week to all these teams, and we'll expect you to work in teams. Recall, I had mentioned that you have to learn working in teams, and teams not chosen by you, but the one which, for want of better words, imposed on you by somebody. Okay? To the extent possible, we have lectures and we have tutorials. We'll have same faculty doing both the things, so that faculty get that much more time with all of you and can understand you better. And we'll also seek feedback from all of you every week or two to understand how things are going. That won't be very elaborate feedback, just to understand that what is that you are learning well, what is that is clear to you, what is that unclear to you. And we use learning management system. That will be a new thing for you. So instead of depending on teachers giving assignments in the class, you also will have to go to computer, access Blackboard management system, Blackboard learning management system, and get a lot of information like assignments, notes from that place. So you have to get used to that also. So you would find that in terms of activities, just in tune with what I said earlier, we will be doing all these things right from tomorrow. Okay. As a part of overall development, we are going to do many things for you, and I'm just giving glimpse of what activities will be done here and who are the people who would be responsible for that, for different portfolios. Every student would be allocated a faculty as a mentor, whose job would be to make sure that you are kind of comfortable, you don't have difficulty in your social life, in academic life, so on and so forth. Most important is that, what I mentioned some time back, that every boy and girl has some inherent talent. This faculty member would try finding out what is that talent and help you walk that path. Mentor is going to only show the path to you. The actual journey has to be traversed by each of you, by each of the students. Okay? Each faculty would be having around 20 people in that mentoring group, which could be mix of first year, second year, third year, fourth year. So you can also get some senior people with whom you can talk and from whom you can understand something. Dr. Ashwini Deshpande and Professor Vishal Fegde, they are the people who would be looking after this particular activity at a global level. They will, allocate different students to different mentors and figure out whether the whole process is going as per the plan, as per the design. We have to keep on looking at new pedagogies, new teaching methods. Okay, just lecturing, as I said, is not sufficient. So what are the new methods that we have to look at, how we can include them in our teaching, how every faculty makes use of them. That would be looked after by 3 people because it's a bigger area, Professor Kurubanshi, Professor Kinikar, and Dr. Amit Page. Then sports is something that most of you like, and we are going to plan many things, in case of sports. We have one annual event of the sports, which is called as the Flavium, where different, classes play different, sports against each other. Beside that thing, we also are hiring coaches, and we are going to make campus team, which includes MPSTME plus SPTM plus CTF. So, we'll make campus team for different sports, and we'll find out where they can go and play different tournaments also. So this will be handled by Professor Praveen Loharkar. Then we have, along with, some people can, play well, some people can dance well, some people can sing well. Yeah. Some people can paint well, all those activities. And for that, we have Dr. Payal Dande, who is going to look after this activity. And we also want, all of you need not, for that matter, should not depend on somebody providing jobs to you. If not all of you, at least some of you can become entrepreneur right after your college. Why right after college? Even while studying. And we do provide that facility. We do have Entrepreneurship Development Center. If you move around, if you go to Aving, you will find that that's a facility which is there. And that technology. Okay. So we would, expect that some of you can start your businesses, and we'll provide support for that also. This activity is spearheaded by Dr. Manoj Deshpande, whom you have seen some time back. Alumni is an important source because people who are educated, who have gotten education from this place, and when they go out, what difficulties they face, what is that we need to change for, new batches, is something that we need to understand from them. And for that, we have a team that's going to work on that. It will be Professor Shashikant Patil and Dr. Smita Bonde. And, we have to understand that we are part of society. Fortunately, we don't know what we have done, but we are, at much better place. We have gotten good parents, they are financially well off, they can afford to spend enough money on our education. But we have to also understand that it's not that we had done something great, significant to achieve that particular position. And we also have to understand that there are many people who are in that sense unfortunate, wherein they do not get that kind of support. They are good, they are talented. It's not that they have done any mistake in their lives. Somehow they do not get that support. And we have to be just aware of that thing. Being aware and supporting them in whatever little way we can always would be helpful. And toward that, Professor Chaudhary is going to manage this community services activity. We are planning to, look at communities around here, what help they need, how we can use technology so that their lives can become better. And last but not least is you will have to start interacting with the industry. And we have a special initiative where we want to make that interface quite strong. And for that, we have Dr. Raichurkar, who is working on that. So entrepreneurship is such an important thing. I'm going to spend a few minutes on that. So in a simpler form, what we want to do is that discover talent for being an entrepreneur. What it means, thinking of idea, looking at problems, matching them, and making money out of that thing. Okay, so discover talent for that thing, discover ideas along with that thing, handhold startups, because at the outset you would need some support. You're going to get into an area which is totally unknown to you, even unknown to us. Okay, so we can handhold, and then we are sure that we can fly. So that's what IEDC will do. Is it a kind of a dream? Is it it's a dream, but is it a reality? It is indeed a reality. Right now, in this campus, we launched this activity last December. And in 6 months, we have these 5 companies which are running from this campus. Out of which 2 companies have gotten orders. 1 company has gotten investment of 50 lakh rupees.
And mind well, these students are in the third year or second year. Okay? One company, Take It Solutions, their customers all around the world. His team provides advice on how to manage investment. He's in the second year, now he'll get into third year. 407 Labs, that team is in the third year, now we'll get into fourth year. They've got an investment of 50 lakhs. Okay? And I'm sure that some of you would be able to either join them or would start your own companies. Now something which is going to be more intense, I would say. Or you can say some tips for you to become successful. Who would not like to be successful? Each one of us. Whose parents would not like their ward, son, daughter to be successful? Each one of us. So what you have to do, it's not very difficult thing. If you just follow simple tips, I'm sure that all of you would succeed. All of you would succeed beyond even your limits. Invest time on task. Now, I know that till 12 there was a lot of pressure on you. बेटा पढ़ ले, बेटा पढ़ ले, सीईटी में 2 मार्क्स जब कम मिलते हैं तो एडमिशन नहीं मिलेगा. इनमैट में 2 मिलते कम तो you'll have to take maybe XYZ discipline against ABC discipline, whatever that name could be. So I know that there was ample pressure. I know that you would have enjoyed your vacation a little bit after giving JEE and after giving NPAT, etc. But still there was huge pressure. Now some of you might think that, hush, now it's done. Now I got an admission. Now I can simply relax. Relax you should, but also balance with your studies. You will succeed if you devote some time in each week for study. If you say that now I'll not study, I'll only look at the end semester examination, study that time, that will not help. So every week you'll have to devote some time for study. Okay? Attend all the lectures. Understand that sometimes you feel that, well, I can do this better. In some cases you might be able to do better, but not in the same time. If teacher takes 45 minutes to teach to you something, you might be able to study that on your own. I'm not disputing that thing, but it will not take 45 minutes. It could take 1 hour, it could take 1.5 hours. So if you want to manage your time in a better way, attend all the lectures. We believe in that you, when you are here, you're on the campus, you will take only 120 seconds to reach from campus to your class, from your hostel to the class. So you should not bunk any of the classes when you're here, because it's going to help you study in much better way. Be punctual. That's something which all of us have to learn, because it's required in every aspect of life. I'm sure that at least half of you would be going to the United States and other countries after your education. And in the Western world, at the job, now also in India, punctuality is very, very crucial. If you're supposed to be at a meeting at 10 o'clock, you better be at the meeting at 10 o'clock. 5 minutes late is something that is not taken very well. And that again, as I said, we have to prepare you for all those challenges, and therefore we expect that for all the classes, for all the meetings, you will come on time. For the classes, even if you are 5 minutes late, we will not be able to take you inside. And you will be marked as absent, and if you cannot attend classes more than 80%, you may not be able to appear for the examination. I should say you will not be able to appear for the examination. A social network. Now all of you, like 18 is wonderful age actually, I feel. You have seen many things and you're going to see many more things, right? So how you can multiply that thing? How you can multiply your exposure, your experience, is having more friends. You at least plan to have one new friend a day, or maybe at least a week. We're talking about, we are around 2,000 students here. Your class would be having 50 students at least. If you make one person good friend in a week, you have one full year. Okay? So, extend your hand. Reach out to the people in the class, in the campus, outside the campus. But make one new friend each day that's going to enrich your life significantly. And have a clear goal. What do you want to do? Maybe you could be a little bit confused as of now. Whether I want to do management afterwards, whether I want to do technical course afterwards, whether I want to join IAS, IPS, IFS, whatever it is. But, arrive at that goal as early as possible, so that, you'd be able to take right steps. If you need any help in that thing, please talk to a mentor, even please talk to me. Okay? Engage with online environment, which I mentioned to you. Balance commitments. As I said, we have to balance both academics and overall development. Academics, I mentioned that 80% attendance is a must. Okay? But also understand that we have 2 semesters, each semester teaching is 15 weeks. So 30 weeks. Year has 52 weeks. Out of which 30 weeks will go in teaching, 2 weeks, 3 weeks will go in examination. You have huge number of. So you will attend all the classes, attendance must be 100%. Go down a bit if you participate in the activities towards your overall development. That is, if you are playing cricket, you are part of the cricket team, you are going to play tournament, say to Indore, say to Pune, say to Goa. Okay, that is fine. If you miss classes for that, is fine because that's going to contribute to your development. If you are a good quizzer and you get invitation to Delhi to be maybe a quiz master, join a quiz competition, that's fine. So we allow all these activities as long as your attendance doesn't fall below 80%. So we want to encourage these activities in fact. Okay? But we have to make sure that this is not taking attendance below 80%. So please balance the commitments. Please find out something that you can do meaningfully, which will give you good exposure, which will give NMIMS good name. Learn to learn, which I mentioned. Keep in touch with your mentors, which is faculty here, and parents. Please be aware that your parents who are away from you would be always thinking about you, would be always worried about you. While you are doing all these things, whatever frequency you decide, once in a week, twice in a week, at least send a text message, at least make a call, they would feel very happy. Okay? And most important is say no to bad habits. Because you are away from your parents, because you are at a somewhat remote location, you may get tempted to get into bad habits. Out of curiosity, out of peer pressure, whatever it is. Each of you have to stand firmly and say, I will not indulge in any bad habits. And why I'm saying that? I don't discount curiosity. And I just want to see what it is. However, please hold on to that, all those curiosity things, till you become 22. Why? The reason is it has been found that if you get into any habits till 21 or 22, you may get addicted to it, which could spoil your life. However, if it is beyond 22, chance becomes little less. I'm not saying do get into those habits, but I'm saying that at least for the 4 years, withhold all that curiosity. Okay, any bad habits. You are here to make your future. Please invest all your time in making your future. And after 4 years, if you want to try out something, that's kind of your wish, your luck. If you ask me, I would say that time also you should think. But one thing is certain, that if you do any of these things in 4 years, there is a good chance that you would get addicted to it and you would spoil your future. And that's the last thing that we would like to have. Okay? So if I request all the students, if you could stand up for 1 minute and say that we will not indulge in any bad habits while you are being student. Can we do that, please? Yeah, please, kind of, it's like an oath. You can say that thing. We will not indulge in bad habits till we graduate. Please say that. Thank you very much. So all of you would be having, all the parents would be having sufficient they will be having very little time, especially in the metros. There's commuting and all those things. But as I requested all the students, I also would request all the parents, be in touch with your ward and be aware of his attendance and performance. We have a system in place where all the parents will be knowing if their child is missing some classes. At the end of every day, we will be sending SMS to the parents, and if there's any drop in contacting, that is, your child has not spoken to you, for like say 2 weeks, when normally he used to speak or she used to speak once in a week. If the test marks are little lower than what he is to get, please talk to the mentor and hostel authorities as soon as possible. Uh, I would also give my mobile number. Feel free to contact me also in case of any emergencies. And our commitment is will catalyze development of our child. Be aware that, be informed that all people who are coming here, we look at them as our children. It is not only that boy or girl is your child, he or she becomes our child. The only limitation is that we are here for him or her, but we cannot, but can we chase the student? There are 2,000 students. Okay, so it's not possible to chase. So, but whenever you want anything, you can approach your mentor, your department head, associate dean, or myself. Our commitment is to make sure that you become the best that you can become in your life. And last but not least, a simple cartoon which will possibly can drive your behavior, that keep on doing good things. And I'm sure that you will get fruits out of that. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your motivating words always